What's up, everybody? Dead Girl here, coming at you on a Wednesday. And today we are joined by a very dear friend of ours, Jack Napier of Macabre Creations. Welcome, welcome, sir.
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for hanging out. I know we've got some familiar faces there jumping into the chat already, which is great. But for those that don't know you or your work, could you tell us a little bit about you?
Of course. I'm Jack Napier. I do a little bit of everything as far as art goes. I like doing acrylic. I like doing sculptures. I like doing 3D art. But I like doing photography. I love doing it all, and it stems from my art background and all the things that I've gone to school for and just enjoyed all my life, and finally finding my niche in doing this. So that's a little bit about what I'm about.
That's awesome. Now, did you go to art school?
I did. I went to art college years ago. I'll leave out the years, but yeah, went to art college. Got a bachelor's there doing that, but yeah.
So it's been something that you've kind of just been doing your whole life then.
Yeah. I've had a pencil in my hand and a paintbrush in my hand ever since I can remember. So yeah, taken art classes ever since I was 5, and
that's awesome.
It's always been a passion.
Now, I know, as you said, you do a lot of different work. So you do, painting, you do masks, you do photography, you do a little bit of everything. What's your favorite thing to do?
Ooh. Honestly, I think my favorite thing is doing the photography.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of photographers, they specialize in one thing, like model photography, all kinds of things. But I like doing it all. I like taking pictures of everything. So I challenge myself every day to take my camera and take at least one new photo every day, and that usually leads to 20 to 50 photos a day. So that's probably my favorite thing to do.
Nice. I know there was a thing a while back, and I tried to do it last year and I failed, where I would upload one picture every day just to kind of see that span of a year. So I like the idea of doing that. I think that's a very cool idea.
That's a lot of fun. And it challenges you too. It pushes you to try new things as far as, technique wise. And so I've discovered new techniques doing that as well. And I've been taking photos since like 94, 95.
Nice.
So.
Very cool. Let's take a look at some of your paintings. I do have a couple here that I want to share. And if I'm not mistaken, these are also available on your Etsy shop.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, I'm going to drop that link in the comments for everybody here. But let's take a look at this one. Is your Freddy piece that you did.
Yes.
This is you've got a few that I very much enjoy. This guy right here is just altogether amazing.
Thank you. That was fun to do. That was a lot of fun to do. Wes Craven's New Nightmare has always been one of my favorite Freddy movies. And then that particular shot has always been my favorite shot of Freddy. For some reason. And so I decided to paint it.
Now, how big is this one?
That is 2 foot by 4 foot. So it's a monster. It's huge.
Do you usually when you're doing a painting or something like this, do you normally go that big?
I like to, because I like to focus on the detail. And it's hard to see it there in that picture, but I really spend a lot of time on the detail and making sure every little tiny thing is correct. And I know a lot of people critique me for that, but that's what I like to do. That's my passion. So when I've got a bigger canvas, it's easier for me to get in there and get those little parts like that. So
that's awesome. Let's take a look here. I got another one that I wanted to show off that I love, a classic monster. So of course, Frankenstein's monster here. I absolutely love it. I love the fact that you went almost like a grayscale with it. That you didn't go the full color. Why did you go that route with it as opposed to going with that stereotypical green that he's,
Because I grew up watching the old horror movies because I wasn't allowed to watch the new horror movies. So I'd watch Creature Feature, and they would show like Frankenstein, The Wolfman, things like that. So I grew up on those older classic films. And so to me, it just made sense to keep it in that direction, keep it in the black and white format instead of going, because there's just something very classical about black and white. And it's very striking. And I'd never done a black and white painting before. So I figured, why not try it? It'd be a perfect piece to do it for.
So that was your first black and white?
Yeah.
Wow, you definitely knocked it out of the park. It's absolutely beautiful. I love the fact that you did the profile and you didn't do that full straight on with it.
Yeah, thank you. I've got the actual piece right here next to me, and I can show you the size.
Yes,
because it's the same size as Freddy. It's 2 foot by 4 foot.
Oh wow.
So, it's massive.
Oh, it is, Matt. Wow.
So.
If you need to fill some wall space, that's for sale.
It definitely will fill some wall space, that's for sure. So it's a big guy.
Wow. He is absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's one of my favorites. I was really happy with the way that one turned out.
Now, I know we talked a little bit before we actually went live, and I know you don't typically do commission pieces, so when you are doing a painting like, Frankenstein's monster or the Freddy Krueger one, is it just because that's something that you very much enjoy and you're like, you know what, I love this character, I want to bring him to life on canvas? Absolutely.
And the characters that I paint, like I've painted Freddy, I painted Jason, I painted, Frankenstein's monster. They're characters that mean something special to me, so it's something that I want hanging on my wall. So I'm painting it for myself, so I can put it up there. But I know Frankenstein's monster, I know is something that a lot of people can connect with. But, he's always been the outcast, always been. And so there's an association thing with that. And so, plus, like I said, he was one of the first, classic horror movies that I saw. And same thing with Freddy. He was one of the first slashers that I ever saw. So he's always been my favorite slasher.
And I can understand that. Freddy was my first slasher. He was the first actual horror movie that gave me nightmares when I was a kid.
Oh, nice. Which one?
I think it was 3, where the chick's bench pressing and she starts to turn into like the roach.
Part 4.
Yes, part 4. Thank you. Sorry, I went Dream Warriors.
That's the one that did it for me too. Part 4. So.
It's always that scene. Like, I was good with part 1. Part 2 I was good with. I love part 2 for, its own reasons. I mean, there's a myriad of reasons. And then part 3 is just so campy and fun and just, I love it. Yeah. But for some reason, that whole scene in part 4 where she's just benching, then all of a sudden it's just like...
Yes.
As a kid, I was not ready for that.
Well, there's just so much with part 4. And, like, there's another scene with another Freddy that I want to paint later, because the lighting in it is so beautiful. It's got this red lighting and this green lighting, and there's these chains hanging down, and he's
kind of coming through.
And he's like, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's like watching artwork on screen, and that's why I love part 4. It's beautiful. The lighting is just.
It's fantastic, and you're right. That's exactly what it is. It's like watching that come to life.
Exactly.
And I've got a couple of people in the chat chime in, and Kara saying that's her favorite is part 4 as well. JD, you're full of crap. I'm going to ignore. My husband's in there talking about how I'm afraid of roaches. I'm not afraid of roaches. Let's just get that straight right now. I don't have a fear, all right? When I was a kid, that scene just freaked me out. Nowadays, it's fine. It's fine.
Right. Yeah,
but when you're young and you watch those things, like, you may not be scared in that moment, but your psyche remembers that crap. And when you go to sleep, that's where Freddy gets you.
Exactly. Oh my God, yeah. Very psychological. It gets overlooked, but it is. When you're young, it messes with you. Yeah.
Oh, it does. It does. No matter how bad you think you are as a kid, like whatever tough guy you think you are, at some point you're gonna have that nightmare.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
I love it. Now you do your paintings, but you also started doing these mask creations that were, they're so different, and they're not just like the wearable masks that a lot of people do. You actually mount them and you make them look, I'm going to show you guys, because I don't really have the right words that I want to say for this. Now we've got Captain Spaulding on the left, and then we have a a pumpkin face, like a jack-o'-lantern type face on that right there. And I know you've got them handy, or at least one of them.
Yes, I do.
So those pieces, why did you decide to go make that switch into the masks, and why did you decide to mount them as opposed to making them something that's wearable?
Well, the idea came to me. It was around, I don't know, 2013, 2014, and I saw the mask because I had bought the mask just because it was a cheap clown mask that I found. I was like, hey, I want to do something with this, and then I got the idea to just kind of put it on a canvas, and then I was like, well, I've got these big holes behind him. What can I do? So that's when I decided to make the eyes behind him. And so, like, you can't really see it in the picture, but the eyes actually follow you around the room. So I just decided, no, yeah, just a little bit. So, like, with the Spalding that you see there, I try to incorporate something in the background that is also inclusive of the movie. Like, you see the police tape in the background. You see it's just really grimy and dirty and nasty, and so I wanted to do something with clowns, and that clown mask just kind of blended itself to what I wanted to do, and so I just kind of jumped on that, and I figured, okay, I'll glue these to the board, then I'd do different things with the glue that's attached to them, and like you see with the pumpkin, I made some vines coming out with the glue and things like that. So yeah, there's a lot of details that you really can't see in the photos, but like in person, it's completely different. But
I mean, even with the photos, especially with Spalding in particular, like the teeth, the stain on the teeth, the green, the grime on it, it's nasty looking. I mean, it comes across very well even through photos.
Thank you. The teeth are what I probably spend the most amount of time on when I'm doing these masks, is trying to figure out exactly, because there's probably 5 different colors on the teeth alone, and that's just on the teeth, not only with the gums and everything else, because then you fade it and all that. So I spend a lot of time. I spend probably more time than I should on the teeth, but to me, it just it's that gritty, nasty. I had to get Spalding's nastiness in there, so I did.
Oh yeah, oh you did. You definitely captured it. I would say it's not. Now, what did you use for hair?
That's actually like this hair material that I picked up, and so I just trimmed it how I needed it and then glued it to the mask, and so yeah, that's actually like a real.
Is it like a wig hair almost?
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like wig hair, but
that's all. You're getting lots of love in the chat. I've got quite a few people chiming in the chat saying how much they love that Captain Spaulding. And just so you guys know, is that still available?
It is, and I actually got it right here.
Show us your goods.
So you can also see the eyes, how they do move around and follow you.
Oh yeah.
So no matter where you are in the room, it's always going to see you.
Now, do all the masks that you have like that, do they all have those eyes where it'll kind of follow you as you move with it?
They do. They all have that. I mean, like the pumpkin one, it's all orange. It's all yellow eyes, so it's not really. You can't really. It doesn't have a pupil in there. But like I have the. This one's not mounted yet, but I have the
Terrifier
right here.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah. So just I don't know, and so I wanted to do something like that, and it was just something different. I'd never seen anybody do it before, and
no, it's definitely a unique take on it. Because I mean, again, I've seen people, create these amazing masks, which are wonderful, but they're all wearable, and that's great. So I've never seen anybody kind of mount it, especially with a specific background, the way that you're doing with some of these, and I think it's it's fantastic. So I gotta ask, like, what's the process? Like, what's the time frame on that? Do you paint the face first, or do you do the background and then jump to the mask?
Well, it starts out like this. That's the cheap mask I get. So it's flimsy. There's eye holes, and so I coat it all with white, and then that's my base right there. Okay. And then I take it, and then I'll paint the different faces on it. And then after I paint the face, like I said, I'll concentrate on the teeth first. And once I get the teeth done, then I'll add like any of the other stuff and the makeup and then the hair. Now with the eyes, it's not much of a trade secret, but they're ping pong balls that I've cut in half.
Nice.
So I've cut the ping pong balls in half, glued them on the inside, and I've lost all feeling into my fingers because I'm having to hold it in there, and it's not easy. So like this, and then I create the background.
Oh, okay.
This one will be for Art the Clown, and then I'll glue him on like that.
Nice.
So all of them will come framed as well. So that way you have a finished piece you can hang right up on the wall immediately. You don't have to buy a frame for it or anything.
See, I like that too. I like the fact that you don't have to get a frame, that it kind of comes with it. I think that's a very, very cool idea. And you've got
Buying
them
a frame
up
can
on...
be kind of daunting, and it's, it's as simple of a thing as it is. It can be like, oh, I have to get a frame for it. I don't know. So
well, then
then
you're stuck with, do you get a cheap frame from like Walmart, or do you spend like buku bucks and go somewhere else and get a really nice one and then get it all framed up for you?
Right. So
this kind of saves that hassle.
Exactly. And if you don't like the frame, take it off. Get your own frame. But I tried it like with the Spalding one. I got like this nasty looking frame that looks kind of gross, but it fits for Spalding.
Right.
So
because that's his character. His character is very gritty and very rough and very, straight up, you're right, nasty. So it definitely flows well with that.
Exactly. I was thinking of a frame that he would have hanging up in his shop, so
yes, like before you go to get on the ride, when you stop in the shop.
Exactly.
And you look around, and that's something that you kind of see first.
Exactly.
Nice. I love it. I love that one. I like the art one. Do you have any other ones that you're working on currently for that particular style?
I have a Slimer from Ghostbusters that I'm working on, which also glows in the dark.
Yes.
I also have a Beetlejuice one that I'm working on. I have a Freddy one that I'm working on. I also have a Satan one that actually I've made the horns for. And I have a lot of like new clowns that I've done. So I also have the new Joaquin Phoenix Joker. I have him
nice.
as well. So yeah, and of course I have the classic Joker as well.
Very cool. And are these all, well, not the ones that you're in process, but the finished ones, are they all up available on your Etsy shop?
Yeah, I'm trying to find a way that I can, because I'm nervous about mailing them, because I don't want them to get destroyed in the mailing process. That's my biggest concern right now, because they are coming in framed. I have to get a huge box to ship them in. Shipping would be expensive. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet.
Okay.
I don't know how.
So for now, are you doing like a pickup only type deal to anybody that's local to like the Orlando-ish area?
Yeah. And I'll be happy to drive, within reason, obviously, but I'll be happy to drive and deliver it to you.
Right,
well.
Like you're not driving to the Carolinas or anything, but
I have to put my foot down somewhere. But I was originally going to do this at Spooky and premiere them at Spooky, and of course all that happened, so I didn't get the chance to. So
well, they did reschedule, so you could always next year.
Yeah, well, the plan is still to do that. Yeah, so I still plan on having plenty for Spooky next year, but I also have these available if anybody wants them. So
very cool. And again, that's available at your Etsy shop. I'm going to go ahead and drop that link real quick. Oops, sorry about that, guys. I just realized.
And if you see one, or if you don't see one that you would like, and if you have an idea for one, absolutely message me, and we can probably work something out.
Now, is it better to hit you up through Facebook? I know you've got a Facebook page under Macabre Creations, so is it better to go ahead and hit you up there?
Hit me up there, or send me a direct message through my personal page, whatever you want to do, and we'll figure something out.
Okay, awesome. And then your Facebook, I'm going to go ahead and drop that link as well, just to see it there. Now, okay. I know the masks, I understand you don't want to ship those, but what about the paintings? Are you doing the same thing where you're doing a pickup only on the paintings?
The paintings, I can easily ship those. That's not a problem. So okay. Any of the paintings that I have, they're available.
Awesome, that's good. Now, are you also doing, for the paintings, do you do prints as well, or do you just do, like, the big bad boys?
I'm trying to find a local company that I can get some decent prints done at, some good quality prints though. Okay. So I'm looking at that, but also my original idea was, I know a lot of people that go to conventions and they'll buy these 12 by 18 prints, and they'll take them home and they'll sit in a closet and they'll never get hung up.
Right.
So I do mine on canvas prints to where like I just got this one in, I need to deliver that one. So I just got this one in.
Oh, that's
So
beautiful.
yeah, but it's on a canvas, canvas board, so it's ready to hang on the wall.
Nice.
So Jennifer, if you're watching, that's yours. I need to hit you up and figure out when we're going to do it.
Yay. That's really pretty. I do like that. Now I know we've got a couple of people in chat that do sell prints and things like that. So I'll give you some info, and maybe you guys can pick each other's brains and
that would be great.
And help each other out. Great. I got Kiara's asking if you can make a mask of your face so she can hang it on her wall.
Of course.
Just for you.
Here it is right here.
Done. Easy peasy. Done. Now you also do a lot of, as we talked a little bit before, you also do a lot of photography. And I personally enjoy your photography. I absolutely love it.
Thank you.
You do a couple of different styles with it, which I enjoy. You do a lot of nature, and then you do a lot of models too, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, I have a lot of fun with doing both.
And those are awesome. Let's take a look here just to show the boys and girls at home what we got. Of course, the Plague Doctor, because I mean, why not?
It's 2020.
It's 2020. That is the theme of the year. It's kind of that's what it is, but that's okay. And then you've got a couple of witches as well on the right there. Those are now. These are all very, very pretty. Are you digital with it? Do you do like old school where you have to develop the film?
I was trained with old school, and I miss the old school. I miss being in the dark room. I love that. But I've kind of gotten really spoiled on digital because,
it's instant gratification.
It's instant, yes. Back in the day, you had to wait and develop the film, be like, crap, it didn't turn out. So like now I get the photo and I'm happy with the results, and then I'll import it with Photoshop and tweak it from there, and that's pretty much how the process is for that. But yeah.
Now, are you looking into selling prints of your photography as well?
Absolutely. I was, I think I had them at 15 a piece or 3 for 15 a piece or 3 for 30, I think.
Okay. And are those up on your Etsy too?
They will be.
Okay. You got a few people chiming in the chat that they missed the dark rooms. And I'll be honest, dude, okay, so when I was in high school, it was the same thing. Like, I took my graphic arts class and my photography class, and I would skip all my other classes and go hang out there all day in the dark room, like developing film and taking pictures.
Yes. The smell of the chemicals in there. Yes. There's something about it.
It's almost magical. It really is.
Yes.
And it takes you back to that time. So although I love the instant gratification that the digital world has given us now, I do, like you do, I do miss going into the dark room and just having those few minutes to yourself where you're, developing, where you're like, all right, how did this come out? And what can I do to tweak it to where I can make it maybe a little bit blurrier, or I can maybe overdevelop it or underdevelop it a little bit.
Exactly. Because you had those big, machines that would project the picture on and burn it onto the print. And then you had to, cut out images and things like that to dodge and burn, and not anymore.
No, nowadays you just like, all right, I got an app for that, hold on a minute.
Exactly. Yeah,
and then
it's important to Photoshop, done. Okay.
Yep. And you can filter it and do whatever you need to. But I do miss the old school. So I understand when you're like, I miss that, because I miss that chemical smell too, and I miss being able to kind of tweak things the old school way. They do need a candle for that.
They need a candle for that. That way I can just, light the candle while I'm working on Photoshop. Like,
turn all the lights off in the room, and just
Exactly.
turn the brightness on your screen down really low and light that candle and be like, all right.
Pretend I'm spooling some film,
Can you even find film anymore? It's like, it's hard to even,
you can actually. I've still got an old 35 millimeter camera that every once in a while I'll break out, but it's. Yeah, I've got, like I said, I've gotten spoiled.
I think we've all gotten in that mind frame nowadays with technology. It's just, it becomes almost too easy.
Yeah. Well, that's, and I've had this discussion with people before where, like, I don't think the generations coming up have an appreciation for things like we did, because everything is just there now.
Yes.
And back when I was doing this, you had to work really hard to do with what you were. I mean, I'm not saying we don't work hard now, but certainly corners have been cut, and it's certainly a lot easier. But I don't think the appreciation for it is there like it used to be.
Right. No, I completely agree, and you're right. And it's look at your phone nowadays. Like back in the day, kids. I sound like an old grandma. You ready? Kids nowadays don't know that feel of using a payphone and like calling collect, and before the operator picks up, you're like, "It's Erica, pick me up from the mall," and then you hang up real quick so that they don't have to accept the call because they know where you're at. Nowadays everybody's got a smartphone. Like a 2-year-old's got a better phone than I do, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and everybody's got a camera, and everybody's a photographer now. And there are some people that take photos with their camera that do amazing work.
Yes.
That do amazing work. And Scary Craig, amazing photographer. He's got a great eye for it. So I'm not knocking that at all. But everybody now is a photographer because they have a camera on their phone.
It makes it so much easier than it was back in the before time, as I call it. Into the dark ages when we grew up.
Exactly.
But that's awesome. Now, are you working on any type of photography projects coming up?
I've got a model shoot coming up on the 15th. I'll keep that as a surprise for now, but I'm working with another model, and we've got some ideas we're kicking around. Awesome. And I also have another shoot with her as well that she's going to be doing based on a painting that I want to do as well. So,
very cool.
Yeah, and it's going to be a joint painting with another artist friend of mine from college, actually. So
that'll be interesting.
Yeah. So we're going to do half and half the painting and see what happens with that.
I'm excited. I can't wait to see that. You'll have to share some updates with us so that we can check it out.
Oh, definitely.
Because that sounds really, really cool. See, I love that. I love when two creatives come together and make amazing things.
Exactly. That's what it's about. And that's one thing about the quarantine is it has really let people tap into their creative side. Mm-hmm. And I love that. So
I think people tend to have a lot more time now because like I know here in Orlando, like the bars aren't open, and we talked about this before, like there are a lot of places that still are not open yet. So whereas you would normally go out and have your nightlife and party and do whatever you do, you don't really have that anymore. So you're kind of stuck at home, and exactly. to your point, people are getting creative and looking for different things that they can do, and I think it's great, actually.
I do too. I really do. And it's because I think creativity has gone down for a while, and because of the lack of appreciation for things. And it's, and I see it on memes even. And so, I know it's just a friggin' meme, but, back in the day when I had Photoshop skills, or I still had Photoshop, back in the day when Photoshop skills were important, right, you made it look like something was really there. Now it's just a cut, drag, copy. And it's just, and it hurts. It hurts me visually to watch it. I can't. Why do you like this? I like my daughter. She shows me something like, why? Get that out of my face. Come on.
I don't want to see that. Just no, hide it. Now, with your creativity, do you do commissions, or do you mostly just kind of do whatever's in your heart and then put that out? And if the world likes it, they like it. If they don't,
That's pretty much it, because I've tried to do commissions before and it did not work out before. I've refunded people money because I couldn't do it. Yeah. So I kind of just do my thing, and if people like it, cool. If they don't,
that's okay.
Yeah. So, but it's at the end of the day, it's my art. So I'm happy with what I've done. That's it.
You know what? I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate you, saying that. And your art is very different from a lot of the other things that I've seen. So it does put you in a very unique spot, so to speak. Especially with not only your paintings with the masks, and then you're also your photography too. So you've got your hands in a little bit of everything, which I think is good. And then, so I got to ask, are you working on anything new that maybe you would like to share with us?
Perhaps. Yes, I am actually.
I think I have some pictures, but I'll let you show first.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm very excited for this, you guys. Jack is a very, very creative person, and he's making some very cool things that I would not have thought of personally.
Well, that's one thing I'm working on is a new painting here, and
I know that face.
you know that face.
I know that face. That's our friend Shelby. She's crazy.
Yes, that
we
is
love
Shelby.
her.
So, yeah, one thing I'm working on is life masks. And I know you know what life masks are. For those that don't know, it's basically when an actor gets ready for getting prosthetics on their face, they have what's called a life mask made, where they put all this crap on their face and it makes an impression, makes a mold, then they cast it, they can sculpt on it. So with that, I'm doing different actors' faces like clowns. Like this one, everybody knows who this is.
There you go. That's Jack Nicholson, baby.
Yeah.
I know that's look at the teeth again. So just to reiterate your attention to detail, which I think is amazing and absolutely ridiculous in the same breath. The teeth alone, like in between the teeth, you've got some of that crud in there where it just looks so gnarly and gross. I absolutely love it.
Thank you. And that's, and that's, I love it because now I have the Joker hanging on my wall, and it's definitively my favorite Joker, but
I'm going to agree with you that he's my favorite as well. I don't care what, other people have done some great performances, but it always comes back to Jack for me.
To me, he's the most comic book accurate Joker.
Yes.
It's like watching the comics come to life on screen. So, but I'm taking other actors, like I have Christopher Lloyd.
Nice.
I have Arnold Schwarzenegger. I have Bruce Campbell. I have Vincent Price as a young Vincent Price.
I'm going to have to get a Bruce from you, right? You know that.
Yeah,
I mean, figured. Just because I might have a little bit of an Evil Dead obsession. Don't judge me. So I might have to grab one of those.
I think you'll like this one too because it's the open mouth Bruce where he's like, yeah.
Yes!
So I'm gonna do 3 options. I'm gonna do a standard white option where you can it's like a white one. I'm gonna do a clown option where I do a clown face on them, nice. And it can be a generic clown, or it could be like what would Bruce Campbell look like if he was playing Pennywise.
Let's see. I think,
or if he was playing the Joker. But I also have coming to me right now. I have a Michael Keaton. Kira, you're welcome. I also have a Bill Murray on the way as well. Rick, you're welcome.
Yay!
So I'm gonna do. I think it'd be funny to see a Michael Keaton Joker.
Yes.
And I think it'd be funny to see, Bill Murray as the clown from Quick Change.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes. Ooh, or you could even do like an Art the Clown on one of their faces too, right? You do like the Terrifier clown.
I could do Art the Clown, Pennywise, the Joker. I could do Spalding, whatever you want. And so, I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Oh, are you getting a Sid mask or a Sid cast?
If I can find one.
If you can find one, I would like a Spalding, and I will. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
If I can find a Sid Haig life mask, I will absolutely make one.
I'm calling dibs.
I have my eye on a few. I have my eye on The Exorcist right now.
Nice.
Linda Blair and The Exorcist makeup. So I'll with that one. The other option I'm going to have is I'm also going to paint them in skin tone.
Okay.
Where it'll be just like the actor's face is hanging on your wall, dead.
That's cool.
But with The Exorcist, her eyes are open, so I'll paint that, just like her, and that'll be fun.
That's cool. And I've got a couple of pictures just to kind of show you guys. So there's that Jack I love that so much. So we've got Jack on the right, and then on the left it looks like you almost went with the very classic makeup. Yes.
Very classic, very simple throwback to like the Ringling style. The white face clown makeup, because there's the 3 basic classifications of clown. One of them is white face, and that's kind of the way I kind of took Christopher Lloyd in that way, because I've never seen Christopher Lloyd do a clown before, so I figured why not. So I'll do the same thing with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I've never seen him do a clown before, so it'd be funny to see him in clown makeup, and that's kind of my thing anyway. So clowns.
Oh, yes. Well, I mean, I can see there's a giant clown head there behind you, so clearly.
Oh, this entire room is filled with clowns. If I could do a 360-degree view, you would, yeah.
Yeah. And I've got quite a few people chiming in the chat their excitement for these. Kara's excited, Amanda, Rick, Bill Murray is a golden god. Bill Murray is a golden god.
Yeah, without a doubt.
You're not wrong. Every time I see Zombieland, and it gets to his scene, it's my favorite part of the movie because it's Bill Murray, man.
What's your favorite Bill Murray movie?
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters?
Yeah, I gotta go Ghostbusters. I think Ghostbusters is awesome. I really do enjoy Groundhog Day.
Oh yes. And Scrooged,
of course, because
oh my god,
he's been in a lot of really, really good stuff, and I love all of his cameo appearances are great, and he totally steals the movie whenever he's in it.
Yes, absolutely. And I know you've seen the movie with the Bill Murray sightings, where people have spotted him around town and things. Oh, it's insane. Like he'll crash parties.
I did hear about that he just shows up.
He just showed up at parties and started bartending for everybody.
See, we need to move where Bill Murray is, like in his neighborhood, and just throw random parties and hope that he shows up.
Right? Oh my god, that would be amazing.
Just shows up and starts bartending. I got somebody Kira's asking for a Danny DeVito.
I actually have my eye on one.
Yeah?
Yeah. I have my eye on a Danny DeVito mask, so
now do you like stalk people for them? Is it something that you find online, or do you know a guy that knows a girl?
It's something I can find online, but it just depends on when they release certain actors. So I grab it up and I do my thing with it. So.
Now, how many do you have currently at the house?
Oh my god! Right now I probably have. I'll show you the biggest one I have.
Size matters.
Size.
Just kidding.
Okay, so to give you a frame of reference, here is Jack Nicholson Joker. Here is the original Lurch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. To give you an idea of size.
Wow, that's huge.
So I have him. I have Christopher Lloyd. I'll have Bill Murray. I'll have Michael Keaton. I have Jack Nicholson. I've probably got about 10 to 15 right now.
Oh,
I've got a Johnny Depp one as well. So
nice. Now, how do you list them? Are you going to be listing them on Etsy and then just listing like the name and that you have the blank, or how are you going to be selling these?
I'll probably list them. I'll probably do 3 different paints on each one. I'll probably do 3 different casts of each one, and then paint a generic clown on one, a generic skin tone on one, and a generic white on one.
Okay.
And do a photo of each. That way, they can pick and choose which one they want.
Okay.
Because honestly, the prices are probably all going to be about the same.
Okay.
Probably going to be around $70 to $90. So.
Okay.
Which.
Yes.
Considering the materials and the time put in, it's fair, because resin is not cheap. You know that.
Oh, I know. And I know where you're getting it from, too, so I know.
Yeah. it's not cheap at all.
We're actually heading down that way this weekend to pick up some stuff for JD, so yeah,
Oh, yeah.
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 But no, it's well worth it, especially something like that. It's a very unique piece. And then, now, are you going to be like, all right, here's the 3. You can either do it blank, skin tone, or, the clown white. And then are you then saying, okay, tell me if you want a clown painted on it, which one you want, that type of thing? Is that
right,
how you're
exactly.
doing it?
And if it's a special request, like if they want Pennywise on Christopher Lloyd, or Pennywise on Arnold Schwarzenegger, or, Spaulding on Johnny Depp, whatever. All these different things, yeah, just specify it in the order and I'll get it done.
That's such a fun concept.
Yeah, I've never seen anybody do it before, and it'll be neat. Plus, I've had most of these masks since probably 2007, 2008, and I've always had them displayed, but I've never thought about how I could use them before, and now it just kind of makes sense. I have a huge clown collection, so now I'm going to have an even bigger one. So, yeah.
But it's such a great idea, and the prices. And I've got Cheryl chime in, and she's saying that the prices within budget. So it's nice that it's affordable to your Jane Doe out there who maybe wants a really cool piece, but he or she can't really afford it because maybe it's like $600, and she's like she can't do it right now. But it's 75, 80 even. It's very, very reasonable.
Yeah, and I'm trying to keep the cost down so that people can afford it, because I'm putting myself in the position, I go to Spooky with money wanting to spend, and it's like, okay, I want something really cool, but I don't have a lot to spend. I want people to be able to get something really cool for a decent price. And I know 80 sounds like a little bit much, but it's really not.
It's not. Really not. When you think of the material, and then not only the material, but your time.
Yeah.
Because it's not like you can, it's not like you can cast something in 5 minutes. It takes time. It's got to cure, It's got to do all these lovely things, and then you have to paint it, and you sand it as well, and get all them bumps out, and it's a very time-consuming thing, so I don't think a lot of people realize, like, how much work goes into that versus, your price point at going down to $75, $80 or whatever. It's almost like you're doing it for free.
Like I said, I want people to be, I want to be able to support my family, but I want people to also have some cool stuff that they can. It's one of a kind.
Oh no, I appreciate it, and I'll happily give you $80. Like, take my money, that's fine, and I'll probably end up buying a couple of them from you because.
Nice.
Yes, there's a few that yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's definitely a very unique piece. And again, you're on Etsy, you're also on Facebook, and then are you on Instagram too?
I am. Yes.
And what's your Instagram handle? Is it under Macabre Creations, or do you have it on something different?
I believe it's under Macabre Creations or Art by Jack Napier. So
awesome.
I'm not sure which. Let me check real quick.
You know what? I mean, whatever. Just pick one.
That would be something I should probably know, but I can tell you in just 1 second.
No worries. I honestly, that's on me for not doing a little extra homework and looking. So I apologize.
It's actually under. It's all right. It's under Macabre Creations or Art_by_Jack_Napier.
Perfect.
So yeah.
Done. I got a few people chiming in the chat that they'll be getting some stuff from you for sure, which is awesome. So thank you guys. Yeah, dude. I'm very excited about your art in general, between the paintings and, of course, your photography. And I love, the mass displays, but like the busts are definitely something that's a lot of your stuff. I've not seen it before. So to me, that's very cool. And it also makes it very desirable.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So
I make stuff that I want, so it's like, I'm like a little kid.
But it's awesome because you have that ability. You're like, I want a big ass Freddy painting. I'm going to do it.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. That's why I painted the Vlad Tepes one.
Yes.
Because I always wanted that Vlad painting. I couldn't find it anywhere, so I was like, I'll just paint it. So
I'm just going to do it myself. Forget it.
Yeah. So.
That's very cool. So if now, I know that you wanted that particular one. Are you going to look at selling maybe prints of that one?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm trying to. That's one painting I actually have to finish.
Ah.
The finished product is not actually on the Instagram yet. If you see the hat, I still have to put some beads in the hat.
Okay.
So yeah, as soon as I finish that, I'll be making some prints. But
it's that work in progress, which I think is great.
It's been a work in progress for a while. But yeah.
Well, I was going to ask you, when you're doing some of your paintings, because they're so large, like, what's the normal time frame on that? Or does it just vary on, drying time or when that mood strikes you to go back in and touch this or that on it?
It varies, honestly. I have a painting I did of my oldest daughter as a clown. And I started it, and I got frustrated with it, and I put the paintbrushes down, didn't touch it again for months. And then I had the idea, okay, I want to do the Frankenstein's monster painting.
Nice.
But I still have this painting sitting in front of me. Let me finish this one. So I jumped on that one, knocked it out in just a few days, and put that one aside. Jumped on the Frankenstein monster one, knocked that out. In a couple of weeks,
Nice.
done. The one sitting behind me has been taking me a long time to finish.
It's got a great start.
It's thank you. I appreciate that. And I have one sitting behind it that I have to finish as well. It's an Art the Clown, but I can show you. It looks like crap right now. I'll show you.
Let me see it. Show me your crap. Let's see it. We've seen all your greatness. All right.
There's my crap.
It's not crap. That's totally not crap. Oh, he's coming along great.
I'm so focused on the details. So I jumped in and I got the mouth and the eyes.
Those gnarly
and I
teeth.
started blocking in color, and then I'm not happy with the color, so now I'm going to go back and change the colors. And yeah, so that's that.
Now, out of all of your paintings, which one are available for purchase currently?
The Frankenstein's monster, the Jason mask, which is based off a mask actually by Rick from 13X Studios, one of his masks.
Oh,
that he
that
made.
guy.
Yeah, that guy. I know.
We love Rick.
Whatever. But yeah, it's based off of one of his masks that he painted for. It's a spooky mask.
Nice.
It has the spooky colors. That one's available. The clown painting, the little girl clown painting with the blue hair, that's available. Which other one? The Freddy one is available.
Okay.
So yeah, most of them are available. It's just the ones that I haven't finished yet. So,
yeah. And if you guys are interested in picking up a painting from Jack, check out his Etsy. They're all listed there. Shipping is not a thing right now, unfortunately, due to sizing and, it getting there safely, because the post office, is so gentle in delivering everything. So, yeah, locals would be best, or if you know a local friend that can pick it up for you, would probably be even better.
Well, now, but the paintings I can ship. The paintings, they should be okay.
Oh,
but
okay.
Like the three-dimensional clown ones that come framed, those are the ones I'm having a hard time shipping right now.
And just to show you guys real quick, the ones that we're talking about. So the three-dimensional ones I love these. I love all your stuff, but these guys are cool. So these are ones that you want to do as a pickup only for now, just because the post office is so delicate.
Yes, exactly.
All right, so just to kind of re-show the Freddy and the Frankenstein's monster again. So this one, you're okay to ship if someone were to say, hey, I would like to purchase it. And then the same thing with the Frankenstein's monster.
Right, exactly.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I apologize. For some reason, I had it in my head like you didn't want to ship, because size-wise, and then again, post office is...
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's all right.
That's awesome. So I love the masks. I love the new stuff that you're going through. How are those currently available now, or are those still kind of like you're in process of getting them ready for purchase?
In the process of getting them ready. Like I said, I'm just waiting for the resin to get here. So as soon as the resin gets here, I can start casting them. And so if you want to order one, you can. Just be aware that it's going to take a couple of weeks to get them finished. So,
right. Especially since materials en route is over.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Very cool. And again, check out the Etsy shop. Everything is listed there, or you can check out the Facebook page or the Instagram. The Etsy shop is under Art by Jack Napier. And I'm going to toss that link down here one more time in the comments for everybody. Yay! And then I'm also going to toss that Facebook link down in the comments. And for those of you watching the replay on YouTube, it's going to be in the description box down below. So I got to ask before... Actually, let's do this. Before I end with my final questions that I like to ask everybody, does anybody in the chat have any questions for Jack? And keep it clean, people. I know some of you that are down there. I've seen some of the things that you weirdos are talking about.
I have a feeling I know a few of the ones you're talking about, too.
Oh, you know all of them. say, does anybody have any questions for Jack about any of his work or anything like that? Now, I know right now there really aren't any shows, so to speak, coming up, but once, you know, the world does kind of resume some form of normality, is Spooky going to be your first one that you're going to be looking at doing?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, it was supposed to be, Spooky is supposed to be my inaugural coming out for all this, but that didn't happen. So yeah, Spooky, when it does happen, finally will be my first one.
Awesome.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I got some ideas for the booth, and yeah.
I'm looking forward to it too. It's definitely gonna be fun. I got Crystal asking in the chat, what's your favorite piece that you've created, and do you still own it? Follow up.
Oh. One of my favorite pieces that I created is probably my Jack the Ripper, and it is still available. It's on Etsy as well.
Okay.
One of the reasons why it was my favorite piece was because I created it with using a new technique for a background. I took a piece of plywood that I found outside, and I cleaned it up, and I took paper towels and just soaked them down with white paint and put them in the background. And then I painted this Jack the Ripper scene on top of it. But the paper towels added this really unique crinkled texture to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a beautiful piece, but the original is just too heavy to hang anywhere. It's massive, and it's bigger than the Frankenstein's monster painting.
Oh wow!
It's huge, and that's my favorite piece, but it's just too big to hang up anywhere. So I have to make prints of it and hang those.
Okay. Very cool. And then I got Kira has a question. She asks, "Can we get a Nicolas Cage life cast?"
Ooh, I will do some looking tonight.
Oh,
let's see what I can find. I really hope so, because that would be awesome.
A lot of people are Nick Cage fans, and I can appreciate the fandom. I am not one of them at all.
No,
I don't. You know, and it's he has one look.
Yeah,
he makes the same face. It doesn't matter what role he's in. His emotions are the same thing, and they don't really change. For me. You can tell in the tone of his voice just a little bit, but to me, he's just very, like, flat almost.
Did you see the new one, though? The Lovecraft one?
No, because he's in it.
And you need to watch it. It's very Nicolas Cage, but it's very...
You can't use it's very Nicolas Cage as a selling point.
I know, but oh my god. I wish you would watch it. I really do, because it's I can't describe it.
I think Kara's about to kill me. She's freaking out in the chat. She's like, "What?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know the love that people have, and I listen. I understand, because I have an uncanny love for a couple of particular actors, so I get it. That's just not one of my favorites personally. But it would be cool if you were able to find a live cast of Nick Cage.
Yeah, I will definitely look for one, Kira. I promise.
I think that would be cool. That would be.
You could do a face-off thing with him. I'll see if I can make a. I'll mold it, and then I'll see if I can do like a some silicone. That way you can do a face-off. You can wear Nick Cage's face.
Yes, you need a Travolta too.
Yeah,
and
Travolta,
you sell him as a combo.
Oh, you can switch them out.
Yes, where you can switch the faces.
Boom.
See, I did like Face Off though.
Oh, Face Off was awesome.
Face Off was fantastic. And I got somebody else asking, they love your shirt.
Oh, thank you. That's one of my clowns.
Do you sell those? Are you thinking about selling those?
I would love to sell them if I can find them at the right price, because this one cost me almost $40. And so there's no way I can resell.
I will give you a link.
Oh, thank you.
I will send you all of the things that I will send you things.
Yeah, because I could, of course I could resell it for like $60 and I would make $20 off the shirt. But I can't do that.
No,
I can't
that's
do that.
too much.
I want to keep the prices down where everybody can get one.
All right, so like,
So.
we'll talk afterwards because
Okay,
we'll
cool.
definitely talk
Very
afterwards. So other than everybody hating me right now for my Nick Cage non-fandom, I apologize.
Yeah, that hurt. That hurt. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm honest. All right. Does anybody else have any questions down in the chat? And no death threats, please, because listen.
No death threats.
I understand, you guys. I get it. Because let's be honest, I love Bruce Campbell with like all of everything in me. I love that man. So, and a lot of people hate him. So I get it.
What?
Yeah.
Who hates Bruce Campbell and why and how?
I don't know. I think that they're nuts. But
that hurts.
But yes, we were talking about the Travolta Cage movie Face Off. Michael Burnett. Michael Burnett in the chat. Say hi, everybody. Let's see. Because he's glorious. All right. Listen, calm it down, people. Just you guys calm it down in there, all right? And no one can wear Jack's face. You started
a riot now.
Ashley's asking if she can wear your face.
Yes.
I thought Kira had dibs on that, though.
I'll make 2.
A third one just because.
We're going to make Jack masks. That's
Jack masks. That's all. You know what? Just do Jack masks from now on. That's all you need to do, really.
Changing the company name, Jack Masks.
Jack Masks. That's all you got to do. So I got to ask, and I've started to kind of ask everybody this question because it's my favorite, and it really opens things up a little bit into your fandom a little bit. I know you're a huge horror fan, which speaks near and dear to my heart because that's my life.
Yes.
So I got to ask, what's your favorite scary movie?
It's got to be Trick or Treat.
The new one or the original?
The new one, not the one with Gene Simmons. Gene Simmons, right? No.
Is it? I don't remember. I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember.
Somebody in the comments commented because I can't remember. I think it's Gene Simmons. I think.
I don't remember.
No. Anyway, the newer one by Michael Dougherty. Yeah, and it just, to me, because I'm a Halloween freak, and that movie just summed up to everything that Halloween was. And I was talking with somebody the other day about it, and I think I was talking to Amanda from Southern Sun and Boutique. It's that there's one scene in particular where it's talking about the bus incident.
Yes.
Something about that. It's just that whole scene just screams Halloween. And that movie wraps up everything.
With all the old school costumes that the kids have on when they're on the bus. And it is Gene Simmons. Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you.
Thank you. But yeah, all right, so that whole movie in itself is fantastic. I love the way that everything just kind of interweaves, the way that all the characters kind of interact.
Oh, so smart.
And my favorite part of that movie is the werewolves.
They did that so good. I'm a huge werewolf fan, and they knocked it out of the park.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, because they could have easily cheesed out on that one, but they didn't. They did not.
Yeah, they could have went really, really, really cheesy with it, or not even, or just showed the shadow and maybe the sounds, but you got to see literally you got to see the flesh being ripped off.
Yes, which is so beautiful, and it's because like I said, I'm a fan of the Wolfman. I'm a fan of the Wolfman style of werewolf.
Yes.
I can't stand where the new style is to just show someone turning into a wolf. Stop that.
Yeah.
Stop. It's a Wolfman.
Right.
It's a Wolfman. So yeah,
Right.
there's my soapbox. Yeah, like Dogs of War. I love that movie. Holy crap! The werewolves in that were just
Dog Soldiers.
Yeah.
Oh my
God. Dog Soldiers. Dogs of War.
God. Different movie. But Dog Soldiers, dude. So I watched it a couple months ago, and I had only seen bits and pieces, but I finally got to see it all the way through, and it's such a great film.
Wow, right?
Dude.
Yeah, I could go on for horror about days. Because it's because like I told you earlier, I wasn't allowed to watch horror as a kid because they didn't want me getting warped in the head, but that kind of backfired because like, like everything that, because I remember going to the video store with my parents as a kid, and I would immediately go to the horror section. I knew I couldn't get anything from there, but I went there because I loved looking at the box art. I loved looking at the box art. It was so good. Yeah, and so I would look at the box art and all these things in my mind, I would flip it over, and of course they would show like these gruesome things on the back. I'm like, and as I'm taking it in, I'm like, I'm imagining the worst in my mind, right? So by the time I saw my first like slasher film, I was like, that's it? I'm like, okay, like, well, I like it, but
still, my mind is worse.
Yeah, I want more. Okay. So I've saturated myself with horror, and I that's my favorite genre, and everything. Like I've got Trick or Treat on the TV right now.
Nice.
And it's.
No, I'm the same way. I am through and through. I can watch every horror movie whenever. I go to sleep to them. I do all the fun things. Exactly. I had to. And like the same thing with you growing up as a kid, you would go into the video stores, and those were always like the sections where your parents were like, nah. Yeah. Like we had I lived in this podunk town in upstate New York growing up as a kid, and our video store horror section was like a magnet because it was legit of the facade of like a house, of this old creepy house, and they had this rocking chair that would rock back and forth with a Chucky doll in it. And it was so creepy. But I would, as soon as we got there, I would beeline it right to there. Because I was like, I got to get in there and see what's inside. Because it was so cool. And that's where they kept every bit of horror movie. Like every single horror movie was in there, and they were all on VHS. Yeah, I'm olding it.
Yep. And the nostalgia of that, that stale cigarette smoke smell when you walk in there, it's just like you take the video cassette home, you're like, oh, yep. I missed that. Absolutely missed that.
It took you home.
Yes.
It really did. It was good. I got somebody asking about Strangeland. I don't think we talked about Strangeland.
With D. Snyder, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen that one, but that was a classic.
That was great. I have not seen that in a long time. And I was at first I was like, yeah, Twisted Sister, because,
Right?
And I watched it, and I was like, that was actually really good. Like, I went in expecting it not to be good. I expected cheese, like, what was the Kiss movie? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, I do.
Where it was just kind of cheesy. It wasn't horrible, but it was cheesy. So I expected that out of Strangeland, like that kind of cheese, because he's a musician. But it was really good.
I was really surprised by that movie. Yeah,
and I love that.
Yeah. That's any movie that can surprise me. Like, Trick or Treat surprised me.
Yes.
Because it was like one of those direct-to-video releases. I was like, okay, it's going to suck.
Yep.
So I watched it. I was like, wait a minute. This is kind of awesome. And then I kept watching. I was like, favorite movie.
This is really awesome. Well, it was weird, too, because a lot of people were very like, Trick or Treat's amazing. And I was like, listen, I hear that about a lot of films, and they're not. And it was. And like with Strangeland, Michael Burnett's in the chat, and he worked on the film, and D. Snyder wrote the script, and
oh yeah,
dude, I was honestly like legit blown away by how good it was. Like everything about it. It was gritty. It made you feel kind of dirty.
Yeah, exactly.
A little bit. Exactly. But it was a good kind of dirty where you were like, all right, I feel kind of wrong, but I kind of like it.
Yeah, it's not like a Serbian film dirty. Yeah, that's the whole. Yeah, no, thank you. But I agree with you. You needed a shower after you watched that movie. And it's like, ugh, God.
You needed a couple of them, but it was good. It was so good, and the soundtrack was good. It was So overall, it was fantastic.
I agree. I totally agree.
Fantastic.
What's yours?
All right. There are a few.
I know,
because I can't go with like just one, so I'm gonna genre it out.
Good call.
Because you can't stick everything. You can't be like, what's your favorite scary movie, and not genre it out.
You got slasher, you got psychological, you got I got you.
So Evil Dead I have two that are like neck and neck, like legitimately like right here, which is the original Evil Dead movie. and Dawn of the Dead 1978.
Ooh.
The original Romero. And I'll tell you why. When I was a kid, aside from Nightmare on Elm Street, I hadn't seen Elm Street yet, okay? Some chick was babysitting me, because that's what happens. You get babysat when you're little, and they put on horror movies when they think that you're sleeping.
Yep.
I was not sleeping. And I remember waking up to the scene in the mall where they're ripping the biker's insides out.
Yeah.
And he's just laying on the ground, and they're just tearing into him, and there's just guts flying and everything everywhere. And that was the first taste that I got of horror films. And it has always been very near and dear to my heart. I know a lot of people make fun of the blue zombies. Whatever. It's whatever.
Right.
It is, to this day, my favorite film, one of my favorite films alongside Evil Dead. And I will be perfectly honest, I hate the remake. I enjoy the first 10 minutes of it. I enjoyed seeing it go from like everybody happy and going to bed to shit hitting the fan.
Yeah.
Once they get to the mall, I'm done. Had they titled it something else, I think I would have been okay with it.
Once they get to the mall?
Yeah. In the remake of Dawn.
Oh, I'm thinking the Evil Dead.
No, Dawn of the Dead, sorry. The remake of Evil Dead was actually, I actually enjoyed
that's
it.
what I was saying.
I wanted to hate it. I legitimately was like, I am going to hate this movie.
But they did so good with it.
I love Evil Dead. I'm going to hate this remake. And then I watched the remake and I was like,
blown away.
Shit.
Yep.
I was mad. I was honestly mad that I enjoyed it as much as I did.
Yeah. I understand that.
And I hate fast zombies, like with a passion. They're dead. They're decomposing. Rigor mortis is going to start to kick in. They don't sprint. And I will argue that to my dying day. Just like,
which is why you didn't like Dawn of the Dead remake.
Yes. However, here's a weird twist to that. However, I am a big fan of Train to Busan, which has running zombies.
That was amazing.
Which has the running zombies in it, but I think because it's in foreign film, I'm okay with it. This is my weird logic of how I'm justifying my weird logic to it, okay? But yeah, so I was okay with that, but had the Dawn of the Dead remake been titled something else, I think I would have actually enjoyed it more.
That makes sense.
But I liked the first 10 minutes. That opening sequence is phenomenal.
Oh my god.
It's the little girl when she jumps and dude, phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely
and the tracking shot behind the car as she's driving through the neighborhood.
And you see all the destruction and everything happening. It's phenomenal.
Absolutely.
After that, it goes to shit. I'm not a fan.
Fair enough.
I'm not a fan. But Evil Dead, the remake, was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I was mad that I liked it as much as I did.
I love that they went with practical for 90% of it. I love that.
Yes.
With that little bit of string of an arm hanging on, and oh god.
And the tongue gag.
Yes. Oh.
There was so much of it that was like cringeworthy, but it was great. So
yeah.
Evil Dead, the original Evil Dead and Romero's Dawn are my top two all-time favorite horror movies. Like hands down, and you can ask my husband because I will legitimately fight you about running zombies.
I can respect that.
Like I will get into a knockdown drag out, like I will fight you about it till no end. Like 28 Days Later. Here's an example. 28 Days Later is not a zombie movie.
No.
Because they are not dead when they are infected. They are alive, and they do not die. They're infected with a rage virus.
Exactly.
So technically, they're not the dead form of zombies.
Right.
I have that battle constant. I fight that all the time.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
So that's Zombies don't run. Quote of the year. I'm making a T-shirt. It's gonna happen.
Zombies don't
run.
I agree with that.
That's. I will die on that hill.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that. And it's funny because when Land of the Dead came out, they weren't running. No. And so and I love that. I love, like, a lot of people hated Land of the Dead, but I love that.
I enjoyed it. I'm a big fan of Romero anyway.
Oh yeah.
And I love everything that I've seen that he has done. I have enjoyed personally.
Absolutely.
And I know, and like you said, a lot of people do not like Land of the Dead. Like, they just don't like it. And I don't know if it's because maybe in that film the zombies begin to think.
Which I think is cool. It's
which
like
is
evolution.
different. And exactly, it's kind of like evolution. But I enjoyed that film. But they don't run. None of Romero's zombies run.
Right. Exactly.
Because to quote him,
I don't know why
they're
they made
dead.
that choice. You don't.
Yeah, I don't know why they did it either, but it makes me so mad.
Yeah.
It makes me so it's not right how mad it makes me.
No, it's not. But I get it.
Clearly I get a little passionate about it, so I apologize, but not really.
No need to apologize. Understandable.
So I hope that my logic makes sense to someone.
I would hope so. My God. I get it. Zombies don't run. T-shirt.
Zombies don't run on a t-shirt. It's happening. Period.
Amanda, you make T-shirts. Zombies don't run.
Yes. Done.
Oh, there we go.
Now, I know along with being a big horror fan, you're also a giant Halloween fan, just like,
yes.
You know, the amazing people in this world are. So what's your favorite type of haunt or haunted house that you've ever gotten to experience, whether it's in Florida or not?
Wow. I'm obsessed with Halloween Horror Nights. Last year was the first year that I actually was able to get the frequent fear pass, and I got it, and I was so glad I did.
It's addicting.
Oh my God. Wow. It's so good. And it's because I love, like, I don't go into haunted houses. I don't get scared.
Right.
I love looking at everything. And it's like,
it's the scenic.
Because it's beautiful. There's so much work put into it. And like last year, my friend Kimmy, she was in one, the graveyard
games. Oh my
yes.
God, it was so pretty.
Beautiful house, absolutely gorgeous house. And I just, I'm looking around like, I could live here, And the same thing with the monsters house, and even the Yeti. Oh my God, I could have lived in that one.
Though I mean, the AC in a Yeti was quite desirable.
Yeah. Plus, it was nice and cool in there. So yeah, so I love haunted houses that take the time to do scenic work like that. However, that being said, there was one haunted house that I just about shit my pants. I walked into a room, and it's so stupid. So stupid. I walked into a room, and there's a guy sitting in the electric chair right across from me.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, they throw a switch, and no big deal, except that the floor had a vibrator put on it. So all of a sudden...
That's dirty.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm like, release valve. So yeah, so that one got me. That one got me. So yeah, kudos to that one. And it was some like off the road, side of the road Halloween night attraction that somebody had just thrown together. But I was like, wow, good job, guys.
Nice. Sometimes those are like the best. And I mean, listen, I love Horror Nights. I'm a big Horror Nights fan. I love everything that goes into creating the event. I think it's amazing. My one complaint is the conga line. That's the only thing I don't like, because half the time either the scare happens way in front of me or way behind me and I don't get it.
Exactly.
So if I go to Horror Nights, I don't go to get scared. I go to enjoy the scenic and I go to enjoy the atmosphere.
Exactly.
And I think it's phenomenal. But I do like going to the smaller haunts where they do put you in smaller groups and they break it out, because then you do get the scares, and I love that so much.
Yes, I would love to be able to go into a house and be scared again. That's the greatest feeling. It's like, you got me. You got me. And I have no problem admitting that. Like, okay, you scared the shit out of me. Yay, good job.
Exactly. Like, that's what you should be doing. Thank you.
Exactly. And but yeah, I like you said, you go to Halloween Horror Nights for the atmosphere. Like the Rob Zombie scare zone. I lived in that scare zone. When I went there, I'd be like, okay, I'll be here.
Leave me here. Goodbye.
Exactly. I've heard all the music before. I don't care. I'm here.
Yes.
So, yeah. But that was another good house. Was the House of a Thousand Corpses house.
That was good.
Wow. That was like walking onto the set. That was amazing.
Oh, it was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
All their sets are beautiful. I mean, you can't go to a Horror Nights and look at one of the sets and be like, that's like, you can't go into a house and be like, this is garbage, because they're so pretty.
Oh my God!
Like,
yes.
the scenic's beautiful. The makeups, when it's not too dark and you do get to see them, they do a great job.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's awesome. We did a couple years ago, like, I did one of the lights on tours, like the daytime tours. It was a separate ticket thing that you could do, and they took like a small group of you and they would take you onto the stages, and they'd have all the lights on, and you could take all the pictures you wanted. So you could go and you could look at the sets and see like everything, you know, behind the scenes. And it was such a cool experience.
See, I had the chance to do that back when Shallow Grave was around. Because I was, at the time, I was working on a documentary for a Halloween documentary. Still working on it, but got to go through the house with the lights on, with the cameras on, and just shoot. And then I got to go through it with the lights off. Got to go through it, and that's one house that got me. I forgot about that one. That's one house that got me because
the grave was good.
Yeah, because they were allowed to touch you, and that's awesome. Like, a lot of people say, "Oh, they can't touch you." Yes, they can. Yes, they can.
Some of them don't. Some of them choose not to.
Right.
And some of them do tell you, hey.
Was the girl crawling across the ceiling, reaching down and grabbing my hair. I was like, oh!
I did not expect that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, okay, good job. Nicely done.
So, fun fact, JD actually was one of the first makeup artists at Shallow Grave when they opened.
That's right.
So he was there for 2 years. And we actually did, so the final night that the grave was open, we actually were the last group that walked through. And we walked through once, and then they allowed us to actually film. So I have a video up on the YouTube channel that is the final walkthrough of the Shallow Grave.
Oh, wow.
And then when we left...
I worked at the Shallow Grave. I did the Hellhound.
Nice.
Yeah, that was fun. But yeah, that was such a nice... Oh, it was so well done.
They did a great job.
A lot of heart and soul put into that.
And there's a lot of good, and I mean, I don't know if they're all opening this year or not. I would hope that they would, but I understand if they don't. Like, there's a lot of great haunts that are smaller, like, that are closer to Orlando. So you have, like, Fright Maze Productions in Merritt Island. You've got Ominous Descent in Sir Henry's Trail over Plant City. You've got Petrified Forest in Altamont. You've got all these great small, you've got Jacksonville's 13th Floor. So there's tons of other smaller haunts, you know, around, aside just from Horror Nights. So if they're not, you know, they're clearly canceled this year, but there are other independent haunts that are open too.
And I understand why they canceled this year. I get it.
Dude, I get it, man.
Sucks, but yeah, I get it.
It does, but their merch is on point.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
Oh, okay. So Michael Burnett's chiming in the chat. He says there were only 100 corpses in House of 1,000 Corpses in the film.
So it's House of 100 Corpses.
It's House of 100 Corpses, not House of 1,000 Corpses.
Not quite as intimidating, is it?
It's not.
That makes me sad. Thanks a lot.
We learned something today.
We did, didn't we?
If you didn't learn anything here today, there's 2 things you need to take away from this. Zombies don't run.
And it's a House of 100 Corpses.
And it's House of 100 Corpses, not of 1,000 Corpses. Fair
enough. Fair enough.
That's it. Well, thank you so much for chatting with us tonight. Thank you so much for hanging out and talking about your amazing things and about spooky stuff and haunt stuff and horror stuff. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I had fun.
Oh, hell yeah. And for those of you, you know, who want to check out Jack's work, check him out on his Etsy shop. Check out Facebook. Check out Instagram. Give him a follow. Hit him up. You know, he'll do all the amazing... Sell you all the fun things, so buy it.
Yay, all the fun things.
All the fun things. So hang out, and I'm gonna get right back to you there, Jack. So thank you again. Okay. You know, thank you for coming on. There is one more thing I do want to talk to you boys and girls about, and that is the BeSpook box, which is a brand new subscription box that Horror Happenings we are affiliated with. It's a very cool box. Just starting out, the August box is Jaws themed. So all those amazing things that you see on the screen are some things that are going to be coming in the box. T-shirts, some coffee. Coffee Shop of Horrors is one of the small businesses participating in that. There's a pin, candle, all kinds of really cool stuff. And this box every month is going to have stuff from small local Florida businesses. So you are going to be supporting all kinds of really cool local companies. So check it out. It's BeSpookBox.com up until August 20th. If you use coupon code DEADGIRL at checkout, if you're buying a multi-month box, you get free shipping, which could save you some cash. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and until next time, make sure that you keep it spooky.